Hey y'all, this is Cooking with T. Get on in here and cook with me. Today we're going to be making homemade chicken and dumplings. It's going to be a very easy recipe. So if you want to get your pen and paper or you just want to start cooking, let's get started. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of butter to a cast iron Dutch oven or whatever type of pot you have. And here I have my seasoned chicken breast. People use 2, but I use about 3 because I just like more meat in it. You take the chicken breast and you're going to put it in the pan. You want to get a nice sear on it. Always wash your hands when you're touching food, meat, whatever. And I'm going to bring the camera down so you guys can see. Okay. So you want to have a good sear on both sides. So I'm probably going to cook it for about a minute or so on both sides. And from there, I'm going to add the chicken broth and water, and I'm going to bring it to a boil. So I want to show you guys what you want each side to look like. So now it's time to turn each chicken breast over, and you're going to sear them on the opposite side as well. And it usually takes about 2 to 3 minutes to get a good sear on each side. So now it's time to add the chicken broth, and I add water as well. Maybe about 2 cups of water. Looks like I have to add a little bit more. So 2 to 3 cups of water. If you want it to cook faster, I would recommend that you put the top on the Dutch oven and let that come to a boil. Almost forgot, y'all, we have to add the garlic. I like garlic. And I have a half a pack of Lipton onion soup mix I'm going to add as well. Okay, once it starts boiling, I'll be back. Now that it's boiling, you want to let it continue to boil at a lower boil on half of the heat. So if you start off at high, cut it down to medium heat. And then once the chicken gets done, I'll show you what to do next. So let's get started on the dumplings while we're waiting for the chicken to be done. So you're going to start with 1 3/4 cups of flour, 1/3 cup of shortening, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, and 3/4 cups of milk, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So here's the flour. I use any brand flour, all-purpose flour, any brand, not a biggie. It's going to be a dumpling, so you don't have to be perfect. 1/3 cup of shortening. I use margarine. You can use butter, or you can use shortening, any type of shortening you have. Okay. Next, I'm going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Okay. All right, so what you want to do is stir these ingredients with a fork until it's incorporated, and then we're going to start adding the milk. It's a 3/4 cup of milk. You may not need all of it, so we're going to incorporate a little bit at a time. We don't want the dough to be too sticky. You can see I'm trying to incorporate everything, and then I'm adding as I go. Okay. So next I'm going to roll out to the dough on a floured surface, so you guys can see that next. We're going to need this dough on a floured surface. So I know I'm not using gloves. A lot of people don't like to cook with gloves, or they do or don't. I think this is just easy for me to feel it. So I'm just going to knead this out. Until it's not as sticky anymore. So it may take a few, may have to roll it around a few times, because it is sticking a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. So after this, I'm going to come back and show you guys how to cut them. Okay, so you see here, you don't have to be perfect. I'm just cutting it into the width I would like for them to be. And we're not going to waste any of this. And then I'm just going to come across and cut them across. And then after I cut these into the pieces I want, I'm going to flour each one. Now I'm just going to flour them and toss them in the flour. That way they don't stick together. Okay, so next I'm going to drop them into the juice of the chicken, as well as the cream of chicken that I added into it. Okay, y'all, the chicken is done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to cut it up. I really don't like to shred my chicken. I know a lot of people say shred it, but I like to cut it up into the pieces that I want to use. And you know, I want pieces. I want to eat pieces of chicken. So when I get done cutting it up, I'm going to show you guys what to do next. Shredded up all the chicken. I'm going to add this back to the broth and the juice. Once I'm done adding that, I'm going to add a can of cream of chicken. Add all that in there. I'm going to swirl that around. And then I'm going to bring this back up to a boil. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and add some veggies in here. That way I don't have to make anything else besides any size. I don't have to worry about making that. So I'm going to add these veggies in. And I'm going to let this cook with the top on. Stir it around. Let all this cook with the top on it. And I'll be back with the finished product. And here is the finished product. Looks good. So don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, as well as comment and share. I'll be posting these videos every so often, and you can also follow me on cooking_t with_t_ on Instagram as well as TikTok. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day.